Okay, so we're with the fabulous David Carter. I say fabulous because David Carter.
It's on my business card.
It says that, exactly. From Awareness Inc. Has been with us at the Corporate Social Media Summit for 2 days. You've been here since the beginning, and your energy level has been the same, which is awesome.
Free coffee. Thank you for that.
Free food.
That lot.
Yes. So one of the questions I wanted to ask you, you came all the way from Toronto.
Yeah, just outside.
You're based in Toronto. What brought you to this conference? I mean, all the way to New York. It's a different conference, I know.
It's nice for what's corporate, which is our audience. You say social media, you're talking about a lot of people, right? Because everybody's on Facebook.
Exactly.
That's not our market. Our market is brands who want to manage what they say and how they say it across multiple channels.
Right.
So it's been a great conference, very focused. The audience is all, corporations and brands that aren't new to this. They've been doing it now for a year and they're ready to go to the next step. So great show.
So when you came here, what did you specifically come to get out of it, as well as give? Because your peers are here, your clients are here.
Yeah. You want to hear what our clients or potential clients are saying. What are their pain points? I'm the CTO, so my job is to make sure that the product stays ahead of the need. So we want to hear I'm having trouble with this, or we don't understand this, because those become future features. And we want to see how far some of these customers have come. We talked to them on a show last year. How have you been successful? What's working? What have you budgeted for in the future too?
So, in terms of awareness, what is the biggest kind of obstacle or problems that you're seeing in terms of social media and your clients? I mean, it's
there's a lot of free tools to do these things, and they are great when you're trying to get into Twitter and Facebook. People don't know the problem they might have as it gets bigger. And the example I use is, if I published all last year and my version 1 of my product or information I was sharing is now high on the list of search results and all those things, and this year I want to replace that. In the old days I just moved it on my website. Sometimes I have a sound track in the background. In the old days I just move it on my website, it would be gone and replaced with the new stuff. But I just put this content all over the internet. I don't even know what's out there. So now they know, oh, I should be tracking that. I should have a way to go back and get that content. And so that's the problem they didn't know they have. Sometimes we have to educate them. Sometimes they came back to this conference and they know the problem now.
Wow. And so one of the things that I find really fascinating about what you guys do, because you have to communicate to the to the client what they need, and they don't know what they need. How do you do that without shaking them? Because
sometimes it's things that they don't do because they didn't think they could do it. I talked to one client that has a whole bunch of retail stores, and we said, "You ever think of a fan page for every store?" And they said, "No." I said, "Why?" "Well, how would you manage that?" "Well, if that's your obstacle, that's the job of the tool vendor to fix." So, well, what if I said you could publish once, check off a whole bunch of fan pages, and your corporate message would go to all those places, and then those audiences that are very hyper-local could just, you get the best of both. Oh, well, if it wouldn't be that hard, I would do that, right? So it's, there's things that 6 months ago were impossible to do. Now it's easy. Foursquare is a perfect example. We just launched the Foursquare publishing channel. So I could publish a tweet, and let's say I own stores around the United States, also publish a to-do inside all those stores, so that pops up when they check in. In the same click, one click.
Right. So you think Foursquare, then let me ask you about social media, because that's hotly debated right now.
Mm-hmm.
Its relevance, whether or not it will be anything. Can Foursquare sustain or grow?
Right.
I mean, do you really using it? You use it?
I like it. It's a bit of a game. I don't want to make those bets. I want to make it easy for the customer to publish to so many places. They could pick a couple that die, but they've invested in the content to publish, and later off they check off some other places. And they don't make wrong decisions that force disaster. They just made, oh well, we didn't get much traction there, but we also published to Gowalla and here, because the content's already in one system.
Right.
So we want you to be able to do those things and not worry about disaster, or I didn't bet on the winner, I bet on the guy that didn't
lost
take
my shirt at home.
Right. So the liability should be minimal.
That's great. Right. That's the great thing about social media. The liability is minimal.
Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely.
So then, having been here for 2 days and heard from your peers and knowing from your own experience what's going on, what is most needed in corporate social media?
Metrics. Everything you do, and our job begins when we publish something. That's easy. There's lots of free software to publish. Every day we go back and check on that piece of content across those places, bring it back into one dashboard so you can report on it, because everybody still has to prove they're successful, prove that customers responded publicly, or that this content was well received. And so metrics.
So ROI, real or fantasy?
Depends on the customers. I mean, customers, just
true.
because social media is there, you don't get immediate ROI. If you do dumb things in social media, you do dumb things. So I see a lot of people doing some great things in social media, and I see a lot of people just having conversations without even setting the relationship bar higher. So
Wow, you are.
how did I dodge that question? Right?
How did you dodge that question? Right, and this is the last one, and that is, you've been here for 2 days, you've met a lot of great people, you've done one moment that stuck out, the one moment in your mind.
And it wasn't the cocktail party last night. Okay. For me, it's a small sort of show floor, but that interaction's been great because I love all the sessions, but that's when the customer, you FaceTime with the customer, they ask you a question, they politely look at your information and go, oh, very nice, but then after you have those interactions, and there's been some just great customers here too. So.
Oh, well, you've been great coming here too.
Thanks very much.
Love your panels, and thank you so much for
Okay.
speaking with us. And maybe we'll make it up that way soon. What's
Okay.
your Twitter?
Oh, DKR Carter.
Right, and for awareness, it's
David.Carter at
Okay.
awarenessnetworks.com.
Okay.
Longest email address.
okay.
Thank
Social
you.
Security? No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.